Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're with us on this Monday morning, starting off a great week here, and we appreciate the viewership and all kind of cool things going to happen this week. So you just stay tuned. Our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and hardworking crew, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today, 81, low 66. How about some good springtime weather? Our water temperature brought to us by Alco Electric out of Lynn Haven. We're looking at, to be exact, 69.4, hanging in there around 70. The Monday moon phase brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. We're right tonight, we're right at a half a moon. And so we're going to go ahead and start building it up for 2 more weeks, have a full moon. It'll be on in May, the full moon of May, one of the most important full moons of the whole year. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is the 21st of April, and we're looking at good tides. This good tides right here, looking on the tide chart, but look, this weekend, it don't look good. We're a lot of neat tides, so good tides next couple of days. Our wind, pretty strong, southeast at about 10 to 20. I'm bringing back some memories of the last couple of weeks, but it's been some pretty days this last week or so. Let's go ahead and take our break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm glad you're with us. I want to thank Ken and Stan for taking care of the show this past Friday. Really had some things I had to get taken care of, and they always fun to have them step in. They always do a good job with it, and it's much appreciated. I want to move on. I thought it was good though what Ken said is he's at a turkey banquet in Monticello, and this guy comes up to him and watches the show. And Ken don't come on about once a month or two, but that's great. We appreciate that. A couple of pictures. This is about viewers sending stuff in. I enjoy this. This is Mark Butler down in Apalachicola Bay. I love this term. It's starting to get right. Today in Apalachicola, please share. I love that term, starting to get right. Okay. They're starting about. We're talking about the Grand Slam, and it's funny, they talked about this Friday on the show. The species, just like Ken said, when he was hunting, in the old days, he just went turkey hunting, but somehow they started breaking it up. So the Grand Slam is the Eastern, the Rio Grande, the Merriam, and the Osceola, which is in Florida, and that's why all the pressure is coming to come all in Florida to get it. So the Eastern is a big one. In fact, here they are right here. Here's the distribution of it. Of course, there's some other ghouls and different ones, but you can see, blow this up a little bit. The Eastern is the blue, the Osceola is orange. See in Florida, that orange, that's the only place you can hunt that turkey. Of course, the Eastern is all over the Eastern United States. Then Rio Grande, right there in the Midwest, and then Merriam, the purple up there, also in the Midwest, scattered throughout there. That's interesting. Thought you'd like to know that. Panama City fishing page. Evan Zachra, this is cool. Evan, this was last Tuesday. His first ever pump limit for me. Evan is an excellent fisherman, but I love the tailgate pictures. He got his 6 pompano last Tuesday. Last week was a good week for pompano fishing, just as we had predicted. And nothing being ingenious about it. It happens every year about this time. This is special to me. Okay, this is Highland Park Elementary School. Well, I won't talk about it. Our annual fishing tournament is in full swing. Only 2 more weeks left to fish. I'm going to show you some pictures and then we'll talk about it. It's just some kids bringing in fish. I don't know their names, but there's just some great pictures here of the fishing tournament. And let's see. Anyway, so you see what all is going on with the different kids. Okay, now this guy right here. This is the guy who started this is how it ties in. This is Charlie Hendricks. Let me tell you about Charlie. Charlie came down from Birmingham, Alabama. How many times we talk about people from Birmingham, I get tickled with them because so many Birmingham people come down. Way back in the day, they were coming down, they still do. In fact, there used to be an old bar out there at the beach. I never went to it, but it's called the Little Beham, the Little Birmingham. And I think they had several fights and all out there over the years. But anyway, getting back to Charlie Hendricks, Charlie came down, loved fishing. In fact, I did a story on him because here's a story right here. Charlie Hendricks, that's a 202-pound Wausau. They got, this was off the A.R. Holly, Richard Holly's dad, in 1978. He remembered coming to Panama City as a 6-year-old. This is in my book now. And the boat he went on was the Magic City, which is a nickname of Birmingham. And Captain Holly put him on him, and after he graduated from high school, he played football for Bobby Bowden at Samford. Is that not cool? Fished every opportunity he had, and he was a member of the Birmingham Snapper Grabbers. But he loved it so much, he after moved to Panama City, became a physical education teacher at Highland Park Elementary School, and which gave him an opportunity to fish more. He had weekends off. And anyway, passed away March 16, 2012. He's still recognized as one of the best fishermen. He was recognized as a fine fisherman there. And let's see, here's a picture of the old Magic City he went on, Captain Holly. It wasn't anything fancy. That's Richard Holly's dad. See that Magic City right there? Okay, they took people fishing. And they actually parked over there at Hathaway Bridge back in the day. But anyway, I wanted to talk about what he did. Hold on a minute. Daughter, right here. He loved fishing. I had a daughter in my class, and Joy Elaine, and she just was a sweetheart of a girl, and she loved fishing. So, Charlie loved fishing so much, he actually started a fishing tournament at Highland Park Elementary. Now, talking about leaving a legacy, this is a long time ago he started and just kept it back in the 90s and way back. And but to have a legacy, you got to have someone to keep it going. And I want to thank the folks at Highland Park Elementary for keeping that little Highland Park fishing tournament going. I'm telling you all this, so I wish all the schools do something like this, have a little tournament. They can bring in the fish or bring pictures of it on a ruler, all kind of things. But for Joy's project in an outdoor ed class, she wrapped this rod, and her dad helped her wrap this rod right here for me, and it was so special. And of course I still have it. What's funny, I have my actual Spanish mackerel stuff on it. But I want to show you here's how she engraved it right here. Look at right here. This is what she said. I just took a picture. Coast Chester's Snapper Stick. And then she signed, custom made by Joy Elaine. And it's a lifelong rod, and it's just very special to me. And I have fond memories of her. You lose contact with your kids once you have them. Sometimes on social media you see them. But last I heard, she was married a guy who worked for the U.S. State Department. They were in Africa working with his job. But I would love to see her again. And her dad was just a wonderful guy, a great fisherman. And he started that little fishing tournament at Highland Park Elementary. And they're talking about leaving a legacy. And then how about a special outdoor ed project like this about leaving a legacy? So special to me. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. So one of your things you can be doing for next year, maybe get your local schools to have like a little fishing tournament. You do it like for 1 week, whatever. That's something cool. And get the kids outdoors at a young age. You see the big smiles on their face, and I'm going to try to get up there and maybe interview some of them. Moving along, got all kinds of things to cover today. A lot of folks have these farm ponds, the ponds in the backyard. How about stocking your pond? It's not that expensive now. It really isn't. I just ran across this one. I don't know a lot about this particular farm, but I'm looking at $135 to $275. It doesn't say how many, but they're two sizes, small or large. Okay, but that's some bluegills. And always looking for some hints for an outdoorsman also works in the yard good and has some good tools. And I always want to see something like this. I want to pass it on to you a good way, especially got an old pole barn. It doesn't have to be all that fancy looking. And Catawba and Catalpa seedlings for sale, $10. And we talked about them before. This is funny here because this has happened. I've had buddies, you take your mount out there and put it in front of your trail cam of your buddy. So your buddy, on the bottom is what your buddy sees out of his picture, when the camera kicks off and he's at work or something in the middle of the day, and you have that big old buck walk like that. That's happened too. Let's talk about this alligator harvest coming up. I looked at all the information. I've got a couple of pictures to show you. This is the projected permits on the right column, but right here, just looking at the map, and really in this one it doesn't show much local stuff, but I want to go to this one right here. I just want to show you the number of gator. Okay, the number of permits. Look at St. John's right here. St. John's Shore, right in the middle. 459 permits they're going to give, and look at the other. This is at different places on the St. John's River. 188, 459, 274, and that shows you how many gators are in that area. And go over on this side. How about look Lake Okeechobee? Those 4 right there, 306, 197, 90, and that's how many. And then down here at the bottom, Orange Lake. That's how many permits they're going to give. But let's go to the bottom, Lake Talquin and Lake Seminole. Lake Talquin is only getting 6, and Lake Seminole is getting 15. I thought this was very interesting, but I thought Lake Seminole was full of gators. But anyway, this is what they're doing. I just thought that was interesting. It talks about how to do it. Here's the harvest period, August the 15th, and you know how you have to fill out the permit and get drawn and all that. So anyway, so at different periods of time, which is a good setup right there, how they do it, August and September. Okay, and it just talks about different things. I wanted to show Liberty County. Liberty right there in the middle, 93 permits for Liberty County. Okaloosa County, Nassau, Osceola County, next to the bottom, 199. Okay, those are county permits. And Gaston, way up there is 6. But anyway, it's interesting looking. Holmes County has 18. Jackson County has 42. Okay, here we go. I ran across this. I just had to share it with you. PETA, these people for the ethical treatment of animals. You've heard of them, and they put this on here on social media. And here's the fish is talking. Why are they hurting me? Where are they taking me? And they said you shouldn't even catch and release now because it hurts the fish. So PETA is not on our side as outdoorsmen who really take care of outdoors. And I don't know if this is Photoshop, but anyways, one of my viewers sent this and wanted me to show it. Bama isn't a true vegetation. So anyway, I'm gonna have these guys on the show this week. These are the 2 guys from Bozeman School that got the Outdoor Ed Scholarship, Reed Pongratz and Jake Gay. And I know that it's interesting. I know the families. I'll have them come on the show. They're just great little young men. This is Ashley bringing a bird back from, talking about Bozeman. When I was up there for the presentation, they had little baby birds. See a little bird? All kind of animals at Bozeman. So she, a student took this bird home, but they kept it in a class so the kids could take the bird home, a little baby bird. There were 2 of them. Let me tell you the story. One of this is a great story. Some baby birds flying around on campus there. You know how the kids go running around crazy, and they were trying to save them. Everybody wanted to save the birds. But one of the birds actually fell into one of the deep pipes, okay, which they couldn't get in. One of the maintenance guys saw what was going on. He came over to Ashley and said, "I'll get that bird for y'all." And Ashley said, "What?" He actually lifted the cover off, the metal grate, and actually went down into the hole and rescued the bird and brought him up and handed him up there to Ashley. And Ashley put him in that cage there. She said, "How are you going to get out?" "I can get out." So he just climbed out. But they're talking about doing a good deed, and the kids were sitting there and they clapped. And it was just an amazing story. What goes on around the school system sometimes is not all reading, writing, arithmetic, all kind of funny things. But I just thought that was funny right there. Good job. Okay, here we go. Let's move on. We got all kind of stuff. I came to Panama City to pompano fish this past weekend. Been 3 years. I did not catch any. They were too deep to fish from the beach. I did catch a few fish in the bay. Okay, so here we go. This is Jay Atkins. He did have a good job. See, if the fish not biting somewhere where you are, then move around. And this is exactly a classic case of just moving around and finding the fish. He had a good day. Here they are right here. And then at the bottom, thanks for all the great shows, and thank you, Jay Atkins. All right. Now, Powell Adams, somehow a former FWC guy, Powell Adams posted this, and this is these guys, Officer Lane Kinney, second from left, okay? He's with some wounded warriors, and they were in South Dakota. He took them out up there. He's currently a part-time wildlife officer, and we retired in November with 44 years with FWC. Thank you, Lane, and thank you for all the service and for taking those guys out there. Good job. I don't know, that was a fun trip up there to South Dakota. Okay, we got a good breaking point now. Just amazing, all kinds of different things going on. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fish and game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at time 6:26 to 8:26 this morning and 6:52 to 8:52 tonight. I know all of y'all saw about the boating accident last week up there in Smith Lake in Alabama, north of Birmingham and around Coleman. It was a tragedy, and we're always talking about these kind of things happening and always hoping and praying it doesn't happen. And it was just inevitable when when situations like that happens. You're going so fast, there's going to be some accidents. The first word that came out on it, and I'll show you what the first one said. When I saw it, it said 1 killed and multi-boat crashed during Major League Fishing tournament, but it was more. This is one of the guys here. So it ended up John Clark, and it goes on to the details. And Jeff Little of Brandon, Mississippi, they were involved in it, and they actually drowned. They didn't know they were on the other boat. They actually drowned when they found their bodies, and it was really a hectic situation. Here's the folks out there searching for them. I just have some scattered pictures of what went on. This was a bass boat. You can see the whole motor, or just, and you know how tight those things are. And they don't know the details. I haven't read the details about how it happened, but they did call off the tournament, and there's the boat here. So here's one of the guys. This is one of the guys here. He was actually a city council member of the small town of Sneed, Alabama. And I just want to show you, this is a picture of the different things. Here's another guy here with his fiancee. He was from Coleman. It happened to real people. So anyway, it gave all kind of details. So this was a second one that happened on the 16th, which was almost the same day. This is up here in Lake Norman up in North Carolina, and there was only one injured in it. And about 7:30 a.m., a boating accident on Lake Norman. 2 vessels ran into each other, and this was a guy that was injured, but he's okay. He's pretty hurt, banged up and all. So anyway, I wrote this down. I copied it up. I wrote down to myself: not wearing a life jacket, falling overboard, capsizing, being involved in a collision. Number 4, both those collisions. That's the majority of boating-related accidents. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to cover that, and I do have some more good stuff to go over. Let me see if I pull it up here. This is good stuff right here. Let me see. Oh, I better show that one. Okay, we'll go. Spring shootout. I got a couple of good announcements I'll make here. Spring shootout, May 9th and 10th. The Gulf Coast Sport Fishing Club. And a 2-day tournament right there. Kyle Pridgeon sent this to me. Okay, this is really cool. He called, Lake Talquin, look at the bottom, 10.65 Lake Talquin, then a 7.89. He caught them 15 minutes apart. Is that not incredible? The 10-pounder was a tagged fish by the FWC. They got $100 for turning in the tag. And here, Kyle's a local guy, former student. And can you imagine catching those within 15 minutes? Now, he's an excellent fisherman right there. Here's the scale. Let's see if you can read it. He's got a glare on it, but it says 10.65. And then 15 minutes later, he catches almost an 8-pounder. Was that won a tournament real quick? Okay, speaking of just having fun going out, Sean Pittman, I know Sean, a lot of us are in these shoes. I finally had an evening with no softball or volleyball. If you got kids, you know what he's talking about. So he went to go pompano fishing and finally got to go pompano fishing. Good job, Sean. I know when you say we got kids, you stay really busy. I want to show, this is a little personal. This is Wendy on the left, and Chip on the right, my 2 beautiful children. And in the middle is Missy Timmons. And let me tell you about Missy Timmons. They got together. This picture was taken last Tuesday night at a Governor's Club in Tallahassee. Wendy was in Tallahassee with a group of teachers with a workshop, and she had a wonderful time. Chip has a landscaping business that he has in Tallahassee, and they were all there at the same time. Missy Timmons, the girl in the middle, she's the one I'll tell you about, the lobbyist for the marine industry, and so she's the one that set me up last year and this year, was talking to the different lawmakers on outdoor education, and but she went to school. She graduated with Chip and played basketball with Wendy. They hadn't seen each other in a long time, and she knew that they talked to each other. They're going to be in town, so she took them all out to the Governor's Club. And y'all appreciate this. They sat there for 3 hours and talked about old times back in school and laughing. Chip, he said they just cracked up laughing about some of the crazy and fun things they used to do, and it was just neat. And you know as well as I do, when you get together with something special about your old school friends, when you get together with them, especially if you haven't seen them in a while, and they just had a grand time. I just thought it was really interesting. I tie in outdoors because Missy is so excited about the outdoor education program, and she is a very powerful lobbyist in Tallahassee. And some of y'all remember her late dad, Stan Timmons, Terry Morris. I know you remember Stan Timmons from back started San Andrew Bay Real Estate. So anyway, that's just a win-win, and Missy is working really hard with some of these lawmakers and all about helping to get, it's a positive thing, helping to get outdoor education in all 67 counties. And she knows where it started, and she has a very good, strong drive to do that. She wants to do some good things too, like a lot of y'all. So anyway, I wanted to show that picture. I got a bunch more pictures, but we'll talk about those tomorrow. We got all kinds of cool things coming up. I'm about to run out of time, but there's some interesting things I got to share with you today. Just personal things about this rod right here, custom wrapped, and just fond memories. So I just wondered, a lot of y'all tell me how you enjoy these personal stories. So I enjoy bringing them to you. Okay, got to wrap it up for today. Y'all do something good for someone else. You enjoy the great outdoors. Let's take care of it, in spite of Peter and all those people that don't want to take care of it. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.